This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
The last thing I really remember was just getting hit by the bus. I'm talking like there was like...
Anyone else to relive her experience tonight? Her message after a dangerous encounter with an Indigo Red Line bus. Good evening. I'm Rafael Sanchez. This is the news at 7. And Jessica Watkins says her car was totaled after she was involved in a crash with a bus while drivers were still practicing Friday afternoon. She was pulling out of the One America parking lot, that's on Capitol Avenue between New York and Vermont Street, when she inched out into the northbound bus lane. It is one of 3 crashes that have happened on Capitol Avenue, where regular traffic travels southbound, but bus traffic goes both ways.
I think it's ridiculous to ask motor vehicle drivers to cross 2 lanes of rapid transit coming directly out of a parking lot to begin with, but then the fact that there is nothing warning you of an approaching, I would say bus, but the size of these are significantly larger than your typical bus.
After those crashes along Capitol Avenue, Indigo added signs that say bus lane, look both ways. One America also sent out a message to employees after Watkins' crash, reminding them to watch out for those buses and noting that security officers would be on site at the lots to assist all drivers when they pull out. New details tonight involving the teen punched by a Metro police officer outside an Indianapolis high school, as the police union tonight is also calling on community leaders to let the investigation play out. The lawyer for the teen hit and his guardian, Danielle Pointer, sat down with Metro Police today to discuss what happened last Thursday. Today, we learned that the 17-year-old punched by Metro Police Officer Robert Lawson is suspended from Shortridge High School. His family's lawyer says the teen was being bullied at the school and was assaulted last Thursday, that a fight inside the school led to the call for police. Now, outside the building, Officer Lawson threatened to arrest the teen's guardian, who was upset when she showed up at the school. The lawyer says the teen approached the officer because he believed he was also going to be arrested that day as well.
From the public's viewpoint, as related to us, they are aghast that children would be harmed in the place that they should be, one of the most safe environments that a child could be, and that is at the school building.
Tonight, the police union is speaking out, saying it supports the reviews. The Fraternal Order of Police is also asking that members of our community, including various leaders and trusted voices, refrain from speculation, conjecture, or statements that may appear to prejudice or compromise the review process. Now at 7, Mothers Against Drunk Driving is calling for tougher punishments for impaired drivers following the deaths of a Danville couple on Tuesday. Police say that Gerald and Rhonda Legan, both 80 years old, died when Danny Williams crashed into their car with his dump truck. Williams told police he snorted heroin earlier in the day. Call 6 Investigates found that Williams was convicted back in 2015 of operating while intoxicated. He received a 1-year suspended sentence and no prison time. Mothers Against Drunk Driving called the couple's death this week 100% avoidable and inexcusable, and they're calling for harsher penalties for impaired drivers. The group says, in part, time and again, the driver in this case was caught by law enforcement while driving impaired, and the court system either suspended his jail sentence or allowed a work release. If drunk and drug drivers are going to be held accountable, it has to happen the first time they are caught and every time thereafter. Now at 7, this traffic alert brings you the flip side of a major construction project on the city's southeast side. Starting tomorrow night at 9, the south and westbound lanes of Interstate 465 between I-65 and I-70 will shut down completely for about 15 days for concrete and bridge work. INDOT shut down the east and northbound lanes, as you may recall, in the same area just last month. INDOT says doing an entire shutdown rather than those periodic lane closures allows them to get the work done in 15 days rather than 9 months.
Let's talk about the sun in your eyes as you're driving west this evening. The clear sky and the perfect angle here, shining off a White River and bouncing right back to you. Temperatures, they're comfortable again. We're in the 70s. 74 is our current temperature, 82 the average high. Temperatures tonight will cool off once again thanks to the light north wind. That keeps our humidity down as well. 74 now. 10 o'clock tonight, skies will be clear and 66. We'll talk about how cool in the morning, and then when summer warmth returns coming up.
Let's stay on the weather front. And Hurricane Dorian has not made landfall on the East Coast, but as you can see, it is still wreaking havoc. And the Carolinas are getting the worst of the storm today. The wind is taking down trees and power lines in cities like Charleston, South Carolina. The heavy rain is flooding low-lying areas. Dorian has even spawned tornadoes in the region. In Little River, just north of Myrtle Beach, residents were startled awake by a loud noise.
We just heard the loud rumbling noise. Kind of sounds like a train.
In North Carolina, the National Weather Service shared an image of a possible tornado near Wilmington. North Carolina's Governor Roy Cooper activated more of the state's National Guard soldiers and urged all residents to stay alert during this period. Grooming and guiding young students. RTV6's Stephanie Wade shows us how a local barbershop at a high school is mentoring male students. She explains how the program is hoping to combat the growing crime problem in that area.
The barbershop is open. Grooming the outer man, guiding the inner man is what this teacher calls it. A barbershop inside a school.
I think the haircut is the initial piece to have them hooked. But I think the discussions that we have, the conversations that we have, the things that are impactful, them coming up with things, grooming themselves, then they're talking about character development. They're talking about how they can empower themselves, and then they're talking about transforming themselves. So it's really a life-changing experience.
A life-changing experience is what Mr. Yakey is providing for these kids. He's the vice principal of culture and mission at Providence Cristo Rey High School, but he's also the school barber. Students set up an appointment to have their hair cut for free. He styles their hair like in a typical barbershop, while the conversation just flows.
When we started talking about stuff that really made me think about it, I matured. I matured a lot. I stayed out of trouble because I knew I had a bigger mission.
Now they take the mirror, they want to brush their hair. Now they're caring about how they look. Now they're caring about how I present myself. Now we get into first impressions. Now we get into what society say you are and what you say you are.
Just with a simple haircut, this teacher is changing the community. Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
The Cristo Rey's work-study program works in partnership with a number of different companies, including IU Health and Eli Lilly and Company, where once a week kids go there to work. They don't receive a paycheck, but instead earn money to pay off their school tuition. Still to come on the news at 7, a college student's brutal death is now being used by some as a rallying cry for one group's political agenda. Reaction from her friends and the university next on the news at 7.
RTV6 is working for you.
This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
There are major new developments in the mystery surrounding a missing Connecticut mother of 5. Her estranged husband arrested for a second time, and this afternoon, his girlfriend turned herself into police. ABC's Maggie Rulli has the latest.
The estranged husband of a missing Connecticut mother of 5 arrested again last night. His girlfriend, Michelle Draconis, turned herself into police today.
It's an exhausting fight. I love my children. That's about it.
Just hours before, her boyfriend, Fotis Doulos, was seen walking out of jail after his arrest last night, facing new charges of tampering with evidence.
There's not much here that we hadn't heard before, and I question the wisdom of these charges at this late date.
Both pleading not guilty to their first arrest. Fotis' wife, Jennifer Doulos, was last seen May 24th, dropping her kids off at school. In the newly released 43-page arrest warrant, investigators say on the day of the crime, Fotis was using a coworker's red Toyota Tacoma truck to transport evidence. And despite allegedly washing the truck without the owner's knowledge, they say lab results matched a blood-like substance, which they say matches the DNA of Jennifer Doulos. The warrant also exposes what detectives call alibi scripts, handwritten notes from Fotis and Troconis that they say include witnesses and alibis. Allegedly, those have been proven false.
We've pled not guilty to the pending charges. We intend to plead not guilty to these charges, and we look forward to a full day in court.
In response to Troconis turning herself in, Fotis' attorney sent ABC News a statement saying, in part, they're confident that in the end she'll tell the truth at trial, and that the state is a terrifying enemy, but a clear conscience is a powerful ally. Maggie Bruley, ABC News, New York.
Anti-immigration posters seen on the University of Iowa's campus, they're causing quite a stir. The posters feature a picture of Molly Tibbetts, the college student who was killed last year while out on a run. The man charged in her death is an undocumented immigrant from Mexico. Friends say the posters go against everything that Molly stood for.
She was all-inclusive, all loving, all caring. Come as you are and be who you are. And just to see her being used in the opposite light of that really is just, it's painful, honestly. It hurts.
Friends are now making it their personal mission to locate the posters and tear them all down. So far, no one has claimed responsibility for the posters. The University of Iowa says the flyers do not reflect the values of the institution. They're asking people to report them, saying there could be some punishment for defacing university property and using the image of Tibbetts without the family's permission. Facebook saying now it's shut down a server that may have exposed millions of users' phone numbers. TechCrunch reports an old server exposed more than 419 million records worldwide, with about 133 million in the U.S. CNN reports the data was on a server Facebook shut down during the Cambridge Analytica scandal. Facebook says it thinks the server had duplicate entries. The social media giant also insists the number of people impacted is half of what TechCrunch is now reporting. Samsung's foldable phone is back, and it says it'll be on sale in the U.S. in the coming weeks. Now, Samsung says it fixed 3 things on the Galaxy Fold since the botched release in the spring. The changes are supposed to make the phone more durable, provide more protection to the folding screen, and keep dust from getting inside the phone. The Fold costs about $2,000. And in the world of entertainment, it looks like Nicki Minaj is folding her career. Minaj says it's time to step away. The rap superstar announced on Twitter today that she's retiring in order to have a family. Minaj is a 10-time Grammy-nominated artist. Her first solo album reached #1 on the Billboard 200 list and spawned 5 top 40 singles. It is now time to check your forecast, Kevin Gregory. We've had a pretty good week, so give me some good news.
Yeah, it's nice and calm around here, and the hurricane is finally going to take a turn to the northeast, move off the east coast. I thought I'd show you this just now. Southwest of the coastline in North Carolina, probably about 30 miles from making landfall, but it is moving to the northeast at 10 miles per hour. So that means it's just going to keep scraping along the coast and go near the outer banks of North Carolina. I'll just roll this out from now, present time, through tomorrow, through Saturday and into early Sunday, and you see how it winds its way all the way along the coast. We'll turn our attention to the potential for some thunderstorms on Sunday. Second half of the weekend, 30% chance we'll see a Sunday thunderstorm. Right now, it's all about beautiful blue skies. 71 in Tipton and Peru. Indianapolis at 74. Nice recovery. We were in the mid-50s in Indy this morning. It was down to 51 in both Lafayette and Peru. It's been a busy evening walking dogs. I know you love this, Raphael, when we walk the dogs. Coda. Hey. Hello to Coda, an Aussie Shepherd mix, Aussie and Sheltie mix. Endless energy. I can see it in her eyes. As we go for a walk this evening, temperatures in the low 70s at 8 o'clock. Will be in the low to mid 60s at 11. These overnight lows will stay pretty consistently cool. As you'll see, though, within the 7-day planner, summer warmth will return early next week. Tomorrow will push 80 degrees, a decent amount of cloud cover. Forecast models have been consistent, at least trying to bring a couple of sprinkles or very light showers through the state tomorrow. Keep our eye on that, but I don't think it's going to interrupt any of your plans. Good night for Friday night football. Temperatures will be in the 70s with a mixture of clouds and sunshine at the kickoff. Then we're partly cloudy as we go after sunset to 73 degrees. Temperatures on Saturday in the mid-70s. Same temperature on Sunday with a 30% chance for a shower or thunderstorm. Of course, that is a Brickyard Sunday. Then Tuesday, we shoot up to 87 degrees, still 86 on Wednesday. There's your summer warmth. We've been nice and cool, and then we get warm briefly.
Kevin G, thank you so much. I appreciate you. So you get a new job, and then you have to let your current boss know that you're leaving. Our career coach says there are ways to say goodbye without burning any bridges. That's next in Hiring Hoosiers. And they say if you don't teach kids to dream big, they'll never climb high. High One program is nurturing students' love of the silver screen. That's ahead with the news at 7 continues.
Live poker at Four Winds Casino, South Bend.
RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers is all about connecting you with resources, skills, and of course jobs every single day of the week. And tonight, we meet with some high school students who are busy learning how they can become the next big thing in Hollywood. RTV6's Erin Lish takes us inside this blockbuster program.
Hey, check out all of these movies. No, we're not at Redbox. We are at J. Everett Light Career Center, where students are taking their creative ideas in film and animation and making them come to life.
Animation and film. Students are making their portfolios for the future.
Yeah, you can be creative with it.
They learn 6 programs through Adobe Suites, get creative through cinematography, and build their own animations while getting dual credits.
When a kid is applying for a job or moving on to college, they need to know every little facet of media that they possibly can.
Lori and Donovan now has these tools on her resume while creating masterpieces like this.
This watch has the power to end the whole universe.
I also get access to programs that I would have not been able to have if I hadn't taken this program, and it just gets me ready for college and what I want to do.
They use high-quality cameras to create their short films, which is helping push some to become filmmakers.
Because I just thought it would be like a really great learning opportunity to learn about filmmaking, and it ended up being like so much more. And it's like, I really found out that's like what I want to do in life.
They spent 2 years in the program, and Donovan says every minute is worth her time to leave with successful products and a future.
It's very tedious. Animation takes a lot of time to do, but it's worth it in the end, I think.
Working for you, Erin Lish, RTV6.
Erin, thank you so much. Change is all around us. In this tight labor market, people are moving to those positions that pay more an hour. But there's a right way to say goodbye, to quit that job. Let's check in right now with our Hiring Hoosiers career coach.
You know, we focus a lot on getting our new job, but how do we leave the current one on professional terms? Well, first of all, we want to give notice. Set up a meeting with your supervisor and give those courteous 2 weeks notice. If you can, offer to allow more time before the new job and offer to train others in that position. If you work at a place that is known to ask employers to leave immediately, once you find out you have your new job, don't tell anyone and start preparing for that exit. You might want to contact your coworkers through an email and let them know your new plans. Be humble, modest, and remember, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. Leave your workplace complete. Stay professional and hardworking, and be organized and set it up well for the next person. I always say to express gratitude for the opportunity in person with a thank you note or an email. Good manners go a long way in a lasting good impression. You also want to participate in that exit interview. Keep those references up to date. And remember, don't burn bridges. You may need this company as a reference if you want to go back at some point.
A big thank you to career coach Nicole Korn. For more helpful advice from our Central 9 career coaches there in Johnson County, you can go to our website, hiringhoosiers.com. We'll be right back with more news here on RTV6.
Store, Ashley HOMESTORE. This is home.
Let's keep talking jobs and hiring Hoosiers. Have you ever thought about working for the U.S. Postal Service? The United States Postal Service is holding a job fair Saturday to fill a variety of positions that range in pay from just over $13 an hour to nearly $18 an hour. There are also support jobs, which include auto mechanic, custodian, tractor-trailer operator, driver. The job fair, Saturday from 9 to 2 p.m. at the Greater Indiana District Conference Center at 875 Guyan Road, right here in Indianapolis. And finally tonight, Hurricane Dorian is apparently responsible, Kevin Gregory, for a number of births in Florida. A hospital near Jacksonville reported 6 births as Dorian passed through the area. 3 on Tuesday, 3 on Wednesday, and staff, as you can see, gave each baby a hurricane-themed onesie to mark their arrival. One read, Category 5 cutie. The other one read, I was in the hurricane evacuation plan. The hospital released a statement saying that hurricanes cause low barometric pressure, which can bring on labor. The hospital says it's always ready when these things happen, so there you have it.
And they'll have those onesies forever, won't they?
Yeah, they're cutie pies.
And the memory. Temperature almost 80 tomorrow, 79 for the high.
Thank you so much. The next newscast tonight at 11. Have a good evening.